Welcome back to the channel for a Hawk Talk. I was just telling Rob off camera, like, this is a special one. Like, we've had multiple now. I think we've had probably 20. This one just kind of means a little bit more than others, though. You guys can't really see it right now, but off the screen, we got a UFC Nashville shirt on. I'm not showing the one that we got a few weeks ago. Rob was there supporting his boy Calvin. I was there at the event watching as well. This is from 2023. Rob was in the main event versus Corey Sandhagen. It was my first ever event I went to. I was in the bleeds for that. So I was telling Rob, and now I'm telling you guys that this is awesome. This is a really cool full circle moment to be able to have somebody on here like Rob, who's not only a UFC vet, but like I said, he was the main event in my first ever time going to a live show. So Rob, thank you so much for taking not only time out of your weekend to join us, but it's the heavy part of your camp right now. You do fight in a few weeks at UFC Noche, which we're hoping to be at. So thank you so much for your time today, brother, for
Of
joining.
course, man. Appreciate you having me on, and yeah, man. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you reaching out to me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's always crazy that guys like Rob, like they'll see the DM. I don't know how they do it, but they see it and we get it going. So, Rob, I just want to ask you now, man. This is what's most important. I ask every single fighter this whenever they come on here. The first question. This is the most important one. How are you and your family currently doing right now?
Good, good. So my fiance actually just landed at the airport, and she's one of my training partner, Tom Pags, picking her up. I'm just hanging out right now with my daughter. She's watching Trolls and just relaxing, man. We're good. We're in Austin, Texas right now, training. Enjoying Austin, Texas. I love it out here. I'm training at Kingsway and Iron Forge, and yeah, no, we're just good, man. We're finally all together. I was out here for 2 weeks by myself, and then now she's out here. So we're in full swing now.
That's awesome, man. And I think that's really important for, somebody like you to have your family around you like that, especially, I mean, it's only August 24th at the time of this recording. You'll be stepping in there in the co-main, which we'll get to in a second, on September 13th. So that's so awesome that they'll be able to spend that amount of time with you whenever, camp is going to really, really get serious. But I do want to get into that now, Rob. Why did taking this fight at Noche make sense for you? Obviously, it's not a pay-per-view, but, this is a massive slot for you. It's a co-main event at probably arguably the biggest fight night of the year. So why did this make sense for you, and what does it mean for you to be the co-main slot here?
Yeah, well, they offered us this fight, and we actually asked for it not too long because I know he called me out a couple times, and like I got offered Song Yudong, but for actually the last fight card in Shanghai, and we were going back and forth a little bit, and I guess something happened. They kind of fell off, and I heard he got booked with Davison Figueroa, and I think that fell off. So I got to assume maybe Song's injured or something like that. But then we were kind of just waiting, like not knowing what we were doing, who we were fighting, and then I believe I thought he more Rosas was already booked, so I thought, okay, that fight's not happening. I'm just waiting right now. Then not too long ago, but I think exactly like 5 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, Sean Shelby contacted us and asked if you wanted to step in on co-main event, and I was like, perfect, let's do it. I was um I was in Texas training already, in Austin at Kingsway, BJJ, Gordon Ryan, John Danaher, and Gary Tonin's new school, and so I was like, man, I'm already out here in Texas. I'm loving Texas. I mean, mixing it up with Kingsway and Iron Forge, and it was like, you know what, let's do it. I'm just gonna do the rest of the camp out here, and I would definitely love to do the co-main event versus Rosa. So it was like it was a no brainer for me, and obviously it's a big night, it's a big fight night, so I was all in.
That is so sick, man. I actually didn't know that, like, that you were already there prior to getting the phone call. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
so I went to I was in Nashville for Calvin's fight. And then
Yeah.
I was like, man, I'm halfway here. I always wanted to check out this school, check out these guys, this group of training. I always wanted to come check out this group, and then I finally did. And like the third day I was here, I was like, they got the call. I was like, man, this
Wow.
just makes sense, and like I'm all in. Let's do it.
Wow, that is so sick. I love that for you too. I mean, that's crazy how the world works sometimes, that's you're not normally training there. I mean, everybody
Yeah,
that knows your background, you're in mass. So that's dope, bro. I love
yeah,
that for you. I think that helps you even a little bit more that,
yeah,
you're not really gonna have to adapt to a whole lot. You're already there.
yeah.
So that's cool. That's really neat.
It's,
I love
uh,
it for you?
Yeah, it's about an hour and a half drive the most from Austin to San Antonio. And it makes sense as far as the opponent style. Like obviously Rosas, he'll strike, but he's mainly a grappler, and so he's looking to take the fight down, looking to take your back, looking to jump on any submission that he can. But mainly, like it seems like the last couple of fights, he's been looking for the rear naked. So I got all the guys to kind of mimic that style, and yeah, I'm ready.
Let's go. Love to hear that, man. Especially me being a fan of yours. I'm going to be there supporting you. So that's dope. I love to hear that. But Rob, you've had such a long UFC career. The longevity's been insane. I mean, your professional record's 22-8, which we're going to get into that in a little bit. But what will a win over Raul do for you at this point of your career? You think because you're still ranked inside the top 10 in the bantamweight division. Obviously, we just spoke about it is a big slot for you, a huge opportunity. So, what do you think that a win on September 13th does for you in your career?
As far as the rankings, not much. It doesn't do much. It definitely gets me back out there, keeps me busy. I'm an entertainer, so I'm an entertainer first. I want to entertain fans first. Title shots and rankings and all that come second. And I'm doing all this training. I want to do it for a reason. So mainly just to get in there, fight, and see the improvements, see how far I can take this, and especially and it's a scary fight. It's a young up and comer. The kids on fire. Got a lot of hype behind him. And those fights that like you kind of get a little nervous about, they almost rise to the opponent, and I think he's a perfect guy for that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think it is I think it makes sense for both of you to have this fight going on as well. I can see from his side why he wants it. I can see from your side why you take this fight as too. So we can't wait for this. But Rob, I want to ask you now, with us just touching on it a little bit, you've been such a staple in the bantamweight division for years. So, what are some key things that you think has allowed you to stay at that level and stay, inside the top 10, like I did just mention?
Yeah, I think just being able to, I mean, not able, but being willing to take a lot of fights, to fight the tough guys. I like I said, even the Corey Sandhagen fight took it on 2 weeks notice, and then but I've also been an opportunity where I had to, like my last one, I took that on like 3 days notice as far as like had finally having the opponent, so I think I'm willing to work with the promotion. I'm a company man. They we're trying to stay busy as much as possible, and I think they like that. I'm unfortunately I'm not taking too much damage, in some of these fights. Some of these fights I obviously some of the I lost, some of these losses I'm getting hit, but I'm not like that. The worst one was the Cheeto fight, so I think that helps a lot, and I want to stay busy. I want to stay busy as possible, and obviously the UFC they're putting on a bunch of shows and they need fights, so I'm like,
Yeah.
call me, I'm that guy.
Love
Yeah.
that. And that's usually a lot of guys, once they get to the age that you're at, they might not, want to fight a whole lot. They might just be wanting to fight, a guy that comes around, maybe he's ranked a little bit higher than you, gives you a chance to climb up the ranks. They might not want to be as active as, you. So I think that is such a huge, huge point for you as to why, like, the company does love you and you're continuing to progress this, this journey that you've been on inside the UFC. So that's really cool to hear that. Obviously, anybody that's watched you, though, knows that about you. So that's really cool to hear that, the insight on that. But we did kind of talk about Calvin a second ago. I know that's your bro. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, whenever they play sports, no matter if it's MMA or any other sport out there, they always have their guy. So, how having someone around like Calvin Cater as a training partner and as like a best friend, how has that helped your career that you think?
Man, it's been good. It's this is a brutal game, and to kind of have somebody to share it with, and to especially at this level, we've been in the top 10 for a while, and he knows what the stress is, and the mental game that we're playing, and to kind of be able to bounce some ideas off him, or share some experiences with him, it's been huge. Like even like I torn an ACL, I think a couple 4 years ago, and just being able to, as I was recovering, just being able to be around him, and during his camps helped out so much, because the time felt like it just flew by, and little things like that. Like it is a solo sport, but when you have somebody that that gets it, understands it, and you can do it with it does help out a lot.
For sure, especially having something like an ACL torn. I mean, that's probably like the worst possible injury you could have in sports. That doesn't completely take you out of the sport, as a whole. But just like from a recovery time standpoint, that's the worst injury I think any athlete could have. So to be able to do something like that, still be around somebody else's journey that you do care about, I feel like that is vital for you as well. So that's awesome. I love that you do have somebody right there beside you that like you said, you went to Nashville to support him. I'm assuming he's probably gonna be at UFC Noche to support.
He's actually coming in Tuesday. Actually, he'll be here Tuesday. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so he's already coming in. Wow. So you have the family and Calvin
Yeah,
coming in.
yeah. So we got family out here. Calvin's coming Tuesday. One of my main training partners, Tom Pax. He just fought for the PFL. He's
Mhm.
already out here. He got here last week. Yeah. So yeah, it's been good. I have a little bit of a home here already. Plus, I've fought in Austin before, and I made some connections and doing some networks. So I met a lot of guys out here. So it's like we got a small team out here, plus my original team. So it's all coming together.
This is dope, man. I love this for you, bro. This is home away from home happening. Like all the chips are coming together on the table right now. Let's go. I
Let's
love
go,
that.
man. Yeah.
Let's go. I love that. Love that. But now I got to ask you because I personally like the song a lot. So why? And I couldn't find anything on it. Like I do my research before I come on here, to be respectful, be a fan, but I couldn't find anything on why Welcome to Jam Rock is your walkout song. So I want to ask you because I do love that song. I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
the first time you walked out of UFC Nashville, that was the first time I figured out the name of the song. I'd
yeah,
heard it somewhere else before.
yeah.
Why is that your walkout song?
Man, it's like before I would like every fight I would just kind of switch up the song and try to go with something new or something and then I was still fighting on the local scene for a promotion named CES. It's a promotion out of Rhode Island, and I was getting ready. I was getting ready to go to the gym. I'm driving on the highway, and I get a call I get a call to get from my manager, and he's asking me if I want to take a fight. Still local. It's like probably my second to last fight before I got into the UFC. And he's like, "Hey man, we got this offer. What do you think about it?" I'm like, we're talking. I'm like, I'm all in. I love it. He loves it. And then the moment I hung up, I just turned the radio on, and it's that song, and like I just get the goosebumps, and I'm like, bro, I'm flying down the highway. I'm like going like 100, like going to the gym, and it just got the goosebumps, and it's just like, this is it. I'm walking out to this, and like obviously I know Bob Marley, Damian Marley, but I'm not like a huge reggae fan. But
Right.
since that song came on, I was in. And then once I told the promotion that I was walking outside, the guy, the DJ, was like, "Bro, I love this song. This is awesome. Never heard it before. I never heard anybody walk out to this." And then even after the fight, people were like, "Bro, that song, man, like it has like a little ring to it. It's
Yeah.
something about it." And I just been stuck. I stuck with it ever since.
That is so cool. And I think it's such a neat song. I mean, even if people, they're not hardcore UFC fans, they don't, know everybody's walkout song. They might not even know the fighters that they're going to watch that night. But like, I remember I have a visual like in my head still because I was in the bleeds whenever you fought. I was in like the second level or whatever. I remember whenever your song came on and you could just see people like dancing to it. Like you could tell they were just sitting there. They went from the promo video and then into your song because you were the first one to make the walk for the co-main. And I just remember like seeing so many people dance and like just having good vibes, bro. And like that's
Yeah,
what you want. At the end
yeah,
of the day, you might not need to walk out to a song in the UFC that maybe you personally love because it might not translate to other people. But I
yeah,
feel like Welcome to Jam Rock, that just kind of like, you know, takes away the moment of fighting a little bit and just
yeah,
lets people relax and like
yeah, yeah,
have a good time. Like it's just such a
yeah,
vibe, man.
yeah.
And like
Exactly.
out in the streets, we call it murder. Like
Yeah,
that's perfect. Like
yeah.
it is
And that's what
perfect.
I'm trying to go out there and do, man. Like, and obviously, I'm not trying to be like too like I don't say like brutal, but like if there's not a ref in there and I'm doing what I'm doing, man, it can get ugly, and it's like it just felt right, man, and like yeah, like and I barely understand half the stuff he's saying after that verse, you know what I'm saying? But it just no, it just feels right,
That's dope. And that I think another big thing too, like going off what you just said, I think it's the beat too. Like the beat to any song, especially that I like, I can't speak for everybody else out there in the world because we're all different, but it has to have a good beat. If it doesn't have a good beat to the song, then I probably can't mess with it.
Yeah,
You
true,
know,
true, true.
so
Yeah.
that's kind of how I go about it. But, you know, Rob, like I said before, you're 38 now, still look sharper than ever. What is there anything in particular that keeps you motivated to keep pushing towards, a title shot one day to get there? Is it chasing the belt? Is it your legacy, continuing to build on that? Like I have the ticket going down at the bottom right now, hell of a professional record at 22-8. Or is it just proving doubters wrong? Because I do feel like, me being a hardcore fan and, seeing everything from the outside, I feel like you are a very underappreciated fighter that's on the roster. So, out of those three things, or is there another thing that just keeps you motivated?
First, I think I started this pretty late, so like I'm healthy. I haven't took too much damage. I started super late, and so like my age is definitely up there for fighting, but my ring age is not up there. I'm not there. I'm not beat up too much. I'm not suffering from like hand injuries or like back injuries or again like too much head damage, so I think that helps a lot. And I still want to see how far I can go with this. I'll see how far I can get. I feel like I'm still learning every single day. I'm evolving every day. Like being out here is like it's like opened my eyes to so many different like ways of doing things, the way of and approaching the fight, and then still wanting to do it for the young guys I train with, and I just can't get enough of it. It might be an addiction as well too. Like I just can't get enough of it. Like that feeling of going out there, having fun, win or lose. Um, it's a crazy high, man. And I think I'm still chasing that.
That is so cool to hear that because, some guys inside the UFC, I guess you could say it is this way for everybody because at the end of the day, it is how you guys get paid. But a lot of guys, like some of them are just fighting for a check. Recently there's been some guys I think they came out with, they might genuinely love fighting, but they're fighting to like have money. I think I saw something, recently that Tim Elliott had like $50 in his bank account going into 319, and then he went out there and did what he did to Kai and
Yeah,
something, and got the 50K bonus. But like for you, man, I think something that's gonna keep you in the game going forward is like you actually like love this shit.
yeah,
Like you're
no,
not
no.
doing it for the money. And it's kind of like I've had some guys come on here before and like talk about that itch. Do you feel that kind of way about like if you did walk away from fighting in like a year or two, do you think it'd be like kind of hard to not have that itch of going to the gym, preparing to go in there and do something to somebody inside the octagon and like having that walkout moment? Is that kind of how you feel about it?
Yeah, no. I think I definitely want to retire on my terms and when I want to do it, and obviously on a W. I don't want to be that guy that retires and comes back, retires and come back. So I think when I do kind of make that call, I feel like I'm gonna do it right. But it's not even on my mind right now, honestly, man.
No,
I
that's not.
really, yeah, I really
Yeah,
feel like I got at the minimum at least 5 more years. I'm telling you, I feel young, I feel great. I do believe I didn't take too much damage in my career. Like besides that Cheeto fight and maybe the Aldo fight, like I haven't taken that much damage. So like I feel like I'm in a good spot. And yeah, that retirement word is not even in my mind. Like you saw, like you said, Tim Elliott yesterday, last week, he might have been fighting for a check, but I get that might be some of it, but I do believe he still loves it and he still wants to
for
compete.
sure.
Like he looked like he was just out there having fun the whole time, and he's up there, he's 38. But yeah, I do believe like I'm a young 38.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. And I think exactly what you just said about Tim Elliott too. Like, um, even if he does have $50 in his account, he does kind of have to fight, to get his money back. Like at the end of the day, like people like you guys, like that's why you're doing it, and that's why you're still in the UFC inside the top 10,
Nah,
making noise.
nah,
So that's a great example right there to show that. But Rob, I have gotten to my segment that I call the final bell. So these are 5 rapid fire questions that you have to answer. If you like this or you'd rather do this than that, and you can elaborate on these. You don't have to fly through them if you don't want to. So if you got to
perfect,
explain a few of them, explain them, bro. Because we love to pick your guys' brains on here. But what
perfect.
is your favorite combo to land inside the octagon? Because I know you're mainly a striker, obviously. So is
Yeah.
there a certain combo that you like more than others?
Like I feel like the double jab rear uppercut, man. Like it's like kind of my go-to, um, yeah, double jab rear uppercut.
Love that. And I'm glad you said that because your jab is like probably one of the best in the UFC. People
Thank you.
that really watch the UFC, they know that Rob Font has a great jab, and that's what gives guys problems. Especially that, I think that could potentially cause Rosas Jr. problems on entering in on a takedown if you just keep him at a distance and you keep jabbing his head off. So I
Yes,
love
sir.
that answer
That's the
right
plan.
there. But
The
I
plan.
love But Rob, my next one would be besides yourself, who do you think that the best boxer is right now inside the UFC?
It's got to be Ilya Tapora. Like
Yeah.
he's impressive, man. He's impressive.
Is there anything from him in particular that you were like, okay, I'd like to implement this into my game at all?
Um, his stance, his stance, the way he tucks his chin with his shoulders, and it's just pure basic clean boxing, and he commits to his shots when he does throw, the way he commits to the body, and the way he throws in combinations.
That's awesome. Love to hear that. Love to hear that. I think that's a great answer. That's probably who I would pick right now too. If I was being asked that question, I'd probably answer that as well. But Rob, my next one would be: do you have a favorite sports team that's outside of like the MMA world?
Yeah, I'll definitely probably say the Celtics. I can sit down and watch a whole game. But it's funny, like once since I got into MMA, man, it's been hard to watch sports, man. It's been hard to like sit down and watch it. I should say watch sports, sit down and watch like a whole season. Like I
Yes.
can't do it, man. Like I gotta like wait for like the Super Bowl or the World Series or the championship. When I was younger, I used to watch a lot more baseball. Then I got into football. Then now it's like more basketball. Maybe because it's more quick pace, but like it's definitely hard to watch sports ever since I got to MMA. Like
Yeah,
like like religiously. Like I'll still watch it, but I can't do it like some. It's like my brother. Like he'll watch every game, have every style on everybody, and like break down everything. I'm like I can't do that anymore, man.
it's tough, and I can definitely see from your perspective on that's hard to follow. Especially you said the Celtics, who you keep up with, definitely makes sense with the mass background. Yeah, I mean they're a good club though, dude. They're a
Yeah,
good squad, but at the end of the day, they do play 82 games in the regular season, and they're usually playing more because they make the playoffs. So that
yeah,
definitely is hard to keep up with, especially for somebody like you who does like to be active in the UFC whenever they throw a fight your way. So I can
yeah.
definitely see that. And we do have a question coming up that does involve the Celtics. So I'm glad you said that. But my next one would be outside of Welcome to Jamrock, do you have another favorite hype song that you'll put on in the car or you'll play this in the back before a fight?
Ah, man, I like a lot of different type of styles of music from like different genres. We was hitting pads yesterday with Tom, and we are listening to some Ludacris, man, and
Okay.
yeah, we were listening to some old school Ludacris. Like, man, I forgot that Ludacris. He
Hell
got
yeah.
some hits, man. So yeah, I would say Ludacris.
Okay. I love that answer. I wasn't expecting that, but I love that answer from you, man. I feel like not too many guys would come out with that as their answer, especially in the MMA world. Like love that, bro. Ludacris is fire, bro. That just brings me back to like my childhood days because I'm only 4, so like
Yeah.
that's he's the dude, man. He's the dude. I love that answer from you. My last one though for the rapid fire question portion would be: would you rather fight in the Garden in Boston, or would you rather fight at Madison Square Garden in New York?
Oh, Boston for sure, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I figured it would be. Is it just because of the background of Massachusetts? I mean, obviously Madison Square Garden's like one of the most historical arenas, out there, but the TD Garden where the Celtics play,
Yeah.
also very historic.
Yeah, it's awesome. I actually fought there twice and won there twice, so I maybe got a soft spot for it. But definitely, man, Boston, stay home, fight in the Garden, and just being have the home field advantage for sure.
Love that. Next year, I'd absolutely love because I think next year is the year where they get a pay per view again. Maybe could be
Hopefully,
wrong. Could be
hopefully,
wrong on that. I think they're in the schedule for that next year. If I've done my research right, but why not go 3-0? Like let's get you on. Let's get you in the Garden next year, man, to go
that'd
3-0.
be
That'd
huge.
be dope. I hope
That'd be
that
huge.
happens for you because I think they are going back there next year. So I'd absolutely love for you to do that, man. And I would definitely I've never been out to. I've only been to Boston one time, but if you get out there, then I will probably make that drive. If it's going to be on
Oh,
a pay-per-view, especially.
yeah. I was actually supposed to fight the night Aljamain and Sean O'Malley fought.
Hmm.
I was supposed to fight Song Yudong, and then the Corey Sandhagen fight happened, and it just never. And obviously they haven't came back. So, but yeah, no, I would love to go through, at the Garden for sure.
Wow. So I guess real quick to touch on it, I guess it's supposed to be rapid fire, but I do have to ask. So this song and dong thing's been going on for a while.
Yeah, so
Then
we were booked. We were
wow,
booked. Yeah, we are booked, and then didn't happen. And I got rebooked, or not rebooked, but we got offered a fight again in Shanghai, and it didn't happen. And then I got to assume he's injured because from what I saw, I thought he was supposed to fight Davison Figueroa. That fight obviously didn't happen. And then yeah, so well, hopefully he's he's getting healthier or whatever, and get out there and take care of business on Rosa, and that could be the potential matchup.
I love that, man. That's cool. I mean, I guess that would definitely make sense now that we know that it's been that long. I thought it was just something that might have fell through recently. This has been going on since the fall of 23. It
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
holy shit. That's a long time ago. I was still playing college soccer at that time. I remember
yeah.
that night. I remember that night. So that was dang, that's crazy to hear that. Maybe that is what we see next for you after Noche then. That would be cool,
That'd be
bro.
sick. That'd be sick.
That'd be cool. But Rob, my final message is, or I guess my final question is for you here. I have to ask every single fighter this that comes on the channel. What's the final message you got to the fans watching this interview to tune in on September 13th to watch you get the W, man?
Bro, yeah, guys, tune in. Obviously, UC always puts on a great card. The main event's crazy. The co-main event's gonna be as crazy as well. I'm bringing nothing but heat. I'm looking to finish this fight. At the minimum, it's gonna be entertaining, but I'm looking to get a finish. I want to perform for you guys, and I'm looking to knock out Raul Rosa come September 13th.
That would be absolutely phenomenal, especially in front of a crowd like that. I'm assuming they might be a little towards Raul, so there'd be a lot of silence there, but I'll definitely be yelling if that does happen.
Let's
Rob,
go.
thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully, we'll see you down there in San Antonio before the fight does happen. If not, no worries, man. I'm going to be there supporting you, brother.
Oh,
Really,
man.
really appreciate you
Appreciate you. Of
taking the time out of your weekend to join us today. I know you got your kid out there too. I think you had to do something in the middle of the interview with them. So thank you so much for,
course.
being the guy you are, coming on here, taking time out of your weekend, and at this point in the camp, brother. Can't wait to watch you get in there and do your thing and put his lights out.
I
September.
appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on, man.
Absolutely. Rob Font, everybody. Catch him September 13th in the co-main event against Raul Rosas Jr. We'll see you guys at UFC Noche. Appreciate you tuning in on Hawk Talk.